So, Adam, what do we have here?
Well, we have the brew house here. Basically, state-of-the-art brew house. You can also see Command Central down there. It's basically the brains of our brewery. There's several computers in there that are running not only the brew house, but also running our yeast propagation system and our centrifuge room, our filtration, and eventually we'll run our packaging lines as well once we get to a point where we have the software to integrate into it. So, big step in technology for us is our mill. I mean, we may not look that impressive. I mean, I think it looks impressive, but you know, that is a huge piece of making much better beer. Process and the handling of it, you've got these kernels that you're trying to get from from a maltster to our into our mash mixer, basically in as good as possible shape as you can get it. So everything that we bought is trying to ensure that we are only getting the very best of the grain that we buy into our mash mixer, therefore making better beer. The software, and the engineering, the way that the two systems have to talk to each other in order to automate is well beyond my comprehension, and even the Germans are making it up as they come in, because every system's different, and our system is really complex because we use a lot of different yeast strains. Obviously we use a lot of different kinds of grains, and we just have a wide portfolio of beers that we make, and it's difficult to do when you do it just manually, but when you start trying to automate that, there's just so many parameters that you have to set in order to make the beers. Sure, I mean, I think you can buy this brew house from Germany, but Steve and the guys have put a lot of bells and whistles on it, because it's designed to brew maybe one or two beers really well, whereas what we do here, I mean, we have 30 plus beers that we make a year, and so again, the parameters on the way we need to brew those things, it's huge. They really like dealing with us because we're not suits, and they also like us because they think we're absolutely freaking crazy in the beers that we produce. The amount of what they would call risk in using multiple yeast strains, also having lactobacillus and pediococcus intentionally in your brewery, for them is just like they can't believe it. This brew house is basically was designed for us and what we want to do. We like to do small batch stuff to have at our tap room. We like small batch stuff for for our barrel series and that sort of thing. But we also have large production beers that we need to maximize how many breweries we can get through in a day to fill these tanks. Technology that we do not have in our current facility, which is loading docks. I mean, we've loaded for 22 years with a forklift coming out of a building, putting it onto a truck, then have to get into the truck, getting a forklift in there and moving it into place. And so this is actually, it's low technology. This is one place where it's just like, it's going to speed the process up so much. And again, safety issues of trying to load a truck from the ground in a snowstorm. I know from experience, it's not the safest thing. I mean, this room is what really I think sets us apart from a lot of brewers. Is our dedication to quality control and quality assurance. We've got 7 full-time people who their sole purpose is to make sure that our beer is as good as it can be every single day, consistently. And this room and the tools that we've provided to our lovably called lab rats, keep us in that pursuit of making perfect beer. 30 beers on tap. It's a pretty amazing amount of beer. There'll be the same beers upstairs and downstairs, and then we're going. We finally purchased a growler filling machine, so we'll be able to fill beer to go in a way that we feel good about.